Hello, dear viewer, I'm LeeSuss. It's an Infinifactory jump scare. I know, I do still play. I know. This is like I've been playing this for like 10 years. this game. I just come back to it every now and then. It's a permanent fixture in my Steam library. Other things get deleted or hidden or put away or whatever. Or I come back to things later. I like the Batman games. This one just never goes. It's always there. It's always there lurking. I'm still here. I haven't finished me yet. I'm still here. This one we're going to... I don't know. It takes me a bit of time to get back into this. I've got a lot of other videos stacked up to go on YouTube, so I thought I'd play something a bit different for a while. How this is going to go. I might be talking to myself literally here because I know I'm always talking to myself, but this might ever get uploaded. If I can't do anything with this, I might go, screw this, I'm not going to upload this video. You'll know if you're seeing it or not if I've done so. Right. Space Boy. Or Bouy, if you prefer. Either's good. I don't care. To me, it's a Space Boy. What we're going to do, let me see. What blocks are we going to go out? Okay, first of all, look at the area. We have a white painter and a red painter. So to use these, we have to pass blocks by it. So I think I can see straight away. We can see there are two identical block sets up here that we can see, can't we? Where you can imagine like building a stack like this and then passing it by this, you know, just drive it alongside it to paint the side, and maybe you do something where you pass it along here and then you pass it that way. But this is all academic because we don't know what's going to come out first, do we? We don't know what's going. Oh, well, that's great. So they're going to screw us from immediately by giving us the worst possible thing first, which is the top. So fine, get on with it, game. Let's have a look. Top, which we can just pass off to the side, can't we? Oh, we've got to pause. Have we got two different outputs going on? Why are you giving me multiple tops? What? What? What does this go to? Oh, there they are. I didn't see the fucking things coming out. Okay. So you're literally coming out in one big chunk. Okay. Now you can see the chunk is too big, can't you? So I can imagine something where we... Okay, the obvious thing is just to stick the top on. Weld the top onto there. Well, that's easier said than done. Because, of course... you can't weld like that normally, yeah? You can't weld onto the top of here. The sort of welders you have. Let me remember the thing is. What's the thing for the what's the controls for bringing up all the different sorts, the different items? This is where we're at. See, this is what I've forgotten. This sort of thing. Block menu shift. Sure. That's not what I was thinking of. Okay, so welders like this, the top welder and the side welder, you know, you wouldn't get access into there. Yeah, they'd be in the way. So I think the first thing we could do is literally just build something where we build a... We're going to keep it simple for now, yeah? We're going to build like a little rack out here, yeah? And we're going to have these grinders along the side. And they're just going to get rid of those upper two blocks, yeah? We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna put one of these here and one here, like this. It's just gonna strip off the side. Yeah, but we're gonna do the same thing over here as well, I imagine. And this is probably not right, and of course we'll change it later. But you know. Look at me, I'm trying to remember hotkeys. No. How do you do... Oh my god, it's so bad that I can't remember. Okay, you have to put it in place, then you can rotate it. There you go. That's going to strip the side off. Now we're not going to quite make exactly what we want here, are we? Because Okay, so we've done that, but that now means that we can then add, we can let this fall all the way down to here, and we can weld this on the way past probably. Yeah, let's ignore these for now. These can do whatever the hell they want right now. We'll worry about you later. We'll weld you on halfway through. Yes. So this can come down to here, and then let's have a think. We want to paint the upper two, so we want conveyor belts that are like, what is that? Let's try and do that, shall we? We want conveyor belts that are going to carry this along here, yeah? So we're going to come out of here, we're going to drop down, and then we're going to... That's too high. Ah, but of course we've got two lots of painting to do, haven't we? Which is interesting. Don't say it. I'm banning myself from that word, by the way. I use it far too often. Yeah, something like that. Yeah? Right. Oh, of course, we need to... It's 3 wide, so no, we need to... Like that. Look at that, see, we're painting stuff. Now, of course, the problem is there that we need to do a second pass. In fact, we need to do 4 passes for this, yeah? We need to do an upper pass, a lower pass, and on both sides. And we need to do the red as well. So let's think about a couple of solutions to this. So if we could have something where it goes across like that. How about this? We could do something where it went across here, and then we flip it and we pull it back this way. We let it drop one, we flip it, and then we We're not ever going to get clashes here. I'm thinking, like, do you turn this whole block so you make it pass along here, and then you drop it down one and you make it pass along here, and that's two parts painted on here, and then you feed it around again. It seems like there wouldn't be space for that, because you'd be clashing with the thing coming in behind. And then you'd have to differentiate between a block that's gone past once and a block that's gone past twice. So an alternative would be, how about this? We do... What we could do, the first pass... Because we had a similar situation as before on a previous level that I remember, where you had a whole side to paint. I can imagine something where we send the block all the way over here, we send it back on itself, and it goes past here like this, and it goes up one using a lifter, and it goes back again, and it goes off over here. Yeah, we could possibly do that as an option. How would we do that? Let's do that as a first idea, yeah? So we could do, since it drops off the edge, because whatever solution we come up with here, I would like to use the same solution for that as well, yeah? And welding, chopping the last bits off and welding that on, that's a secondary thing. We'll do that later, yeah? We can let these things pile up until the cows come home over there. Right, okay. Okay, so it gets to here, and as soon as it hits here, if I try to pass this back, is it going to clash with the next lot coming in? Is the question. And is it easier to do the top line first and then pass it back for the second line? It might be, you know. I don't know. Right, then we say freeze at that point there. We lift one and then we push it back, possibly with some upper conveyor belts, back that way, and then feed it out here. Okay? Right, let's go with that. Where do we have lifters here? We do not have lifters available. I should probably use things like counters and things like that as well, but I just don't. I don't yet do that. I should factor that. It's probably one of the most efficient solutions. But for now, is to use counters to like how many blocks have you gone past before you do something. I'm just not very good at that kind of thing. It's probably the most efficient solution. All I want right now is a solution. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be a very ugly solution, but there you go. So we get to here, 1, 2, 3. It hits the last one. As soon as it hits that, it gets lifted up 1. So it is currently at hold on. Yeah, it gets lifted up 1. And as soon as it does that, it hits a upper conveyor. So it's 1, 2. It's 1, 2 high, 1, 2 high, and then we want a one space. We want no. And we push it back that way. Possibly, as soon as it hits the sensor, as soon as it hits something here, what do we do? We have to introduce something underneath it to keep it up in the air. Might have to slide in a lifter and a set of conveyors to push it back this way. I cannot seem to make this work right now. Oh, my brain is just not doing it at the moment. I just can't seem to get it. So I'm thinking, this feels like a repeat of what I've done before, as I say. I never found a really good solution to that other one where I was painting a big sign with, like, I think it was all white on one side with a red dot in the middle or something like that, or a cross in the middle. I never found a really good solution to that. So I'm wondering if maybe what I could do instead is literally make one of these blocks circle this. Like something like it passes. I'm trying to think of a good way of an entrance and an exit strategy for this. So the blocks aren't clashing with each other. Because say that it came across here and it painted one side, then it got slightly rotated and pushed back this side to do the second layer of white paint, and then something similar around here, it would end up exiting this way, which is obviously clashing with the input from here. So could I have something where it's better than that? We'll just try and paint two sides for now. How about we keep it simple for now? Let's paint two sides. So really simply, why do I keep doing that one? How do you switch out the hotkeys again? What is the option for hotkeys? Am I just missing it? Well, I'll work it out later, probably at some point. Right, okay, let's say we go across here. And then as soon as it gets to here, as soon as it gets to the third block, it falls off the edge, yeah? First block, second block, third block is painted, then it falls off and gets a rotation. Yeah, it runs out of blocks at this point here and it falls down one. And starts going this way. Now that isn't right, we've got to do rotation as well within there, but let's just see. Okay, so that this at some point here we need to do a flip. Ah. You're clashing with that, correct? You asked. We've got to go one further. Oh, this is why I think an idea is perfect, and then I think then reality gets in the way, because in fact, what I want to do doesn't actually work, which is quite frustrating. See, this is where I get to the solution with some of these things, where I go, you know what, I'm never going to finish this video. Because I'm too frustrated with it, which is a shame. But there you go. That's why I sometimes feel with these things. I get to the point, and it's a shame. It's a shame, but that's where I'm feeling at the moment. I just can't picture a solution that seems to work. Every time I try to think of it, it's the game is crushing me. Okay, trying something different. I'm looking at. I went back to my previous. Previous solution for the I want a sticky one, don't I think? My previous solution for the other one with the big white ball, the target calibration or whatever it is, with the big white ball with the dot in the middle, and how I painted that. And I went and did something I don't usually do, which is I looked online, because I hate doing that. I want to find my own innovative solutions, but I'm feeling very stuck here. So that's what I decided to do. And I found that the solutions are about the same for that puzzle, which is that what you do is you pass as the model passes by the painting block, you make it pass up and downwards. Yeah, so you're constantly like doing an up and down stroke to paint both levels. Now this is obviously a much smaller block to do that on, but I figure I guess I'm going to do the same thing again. So I need to be able to push this lifter in. So as the block comes off of here, as soon as it gets to this point here, I need to push the oh, that's a puller. Is that a sticky one? Is that a sticky piston? I can't remember. Are they sticky or not? I can't recall. That's a pusher. I need to pull the block in and out to make it paint up and down is what I need to do. In fact, this might be the right answer here, actually, if we do this. There you go. So that pushed it up. So I need to, at the point where that happens, I need to let the thing pull back again. Yeah, through a signal of some sort. And then it will progress on one more. And we'll keep on doing that until the whole block is painted. Yeah? That's what I need to try and do. I used to put pressing R. R is play on this, but for me, R in so many games is rotation. And that is caused me a problem. Okay, that is now working. So we've managed to paint that much of the side. Okay, so now we need the opposite of that on this side. Yes, we want to, when it gets to about here, let's see where it lands. When it gets to about here, we want to rotate it. Actually, we can probably rotate it about there, actually. And then feed it over this way, and then back this way, and do something similar again. A mirror of this on the other side. Right? Maybe I was just overthinking this. I just thought the up and down would be too slow. It might still be too slow. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute, won't we? Okay, we're going to do the same thing again over there. We could be a little bit tight on room around here. We'll have to make some efficiencies, but we'll worry about if I can actually get this bloody working for a start. How about that? 1, 2, 3, and then that. Yeah, taking up a lot of room. We can probably go down the side though, for example. We don't have to have the wires out like the back like this. We could go out the sideways, as long as we're not going to clash with anything. That is entirely possible. Why? That's a future problem. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Although I do seem to be clashing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. In case you've forgotten, this needs to be free floating. This, yeah, it can't be attached to the wire. It's to do with how blocks are allowed to move and how they aren't allowed to move in the game. And sometimes you have to leave them free floating to let them. This will, when the game starts, all free floating blocks will drop and they will reconnect with wires and things like that. That's what this is designed to do. Oh, okay, so we need to deal with that on the way past. Okay. We can deal with that here, actually. So is that going to do it? I think it will. Not a pretty solution, but it's a solution. Yeah? Oh, no, we haven't rotated it. We've got to rotate it twice. We've got to rotate it twice. I forgot that. That is more of a problem because... Okay, we're going to grind both over here, I think. We can do that up here, I think. What we can do is at the early stage, so we can adjust this very slightly over here. Right, as soon as it gets to that point there, we pass to the side. Okay, that's sorted out. Now, I imagine there's probably a more efficient way of doing it, where you combine cutting with sometimes with this piece as you turn it around. But, you know, right now, I'll think about that later. We've got it for now. What I need to do, though, I still need to fix this. Okay, we've got that. We need to fix the double turn. Yeah? I need to put another spin in. But the trouble is you can't... We can get rid of these things here. You can't put a second spin in while you're on the first... Okay, you've got to wait till you're off the other spinner, or it will cause a clash. So I think I should be able to put one here. I think. I'll put it here. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do that better. Oh. No. Okay, so that needs to be a reverse. It needs to be that one. Probably there, I'd imagine. No, no, no. Come on, me. Yeah. No, it can't turn. It's clashing because of the block, I think. Hold on. I mean, that does work. It's a flippy flopperoo around the two things. Although we're too far away. Let's try that again. I can try to put this here. I don't think it will work. I think they'll clash with each other. No, no, we're all right. Okay, that does it. That does it. That brings us across to here. Ah, we're missing a conveyor. That's the only reason. Okay, okay, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. No, no, no. Right. Okay. So, at this point here, we've achieved what we want to do. Yes. And then as soon as it hits this, we want to do the flip again, because we want to get this side over here. So if I do There. Is that going to do it? Yes, and we're not clashing with that one either. Okay, as soon as we hit here, we've got to... Now, what are we going to do here? So, we've done it on 2 corners here. So the most efficient is probably to flip it again, have the other rotator spin it back to here, so we're lined up for this to come past here, and then like that. But in the meantime, we've got to make a... Okay, we could go along... I guess we could try to pass it along here, which would benefit this part, the welding of this. We can try to do something magical where we literally make this drop off exactly the right place to land on top of this as it goes past and get welded. That might be possible, but we could do that over here, or it doesn't really matter if we do it over here or through here. Because I'm thinking, do we send this along here and then that way, and then when it's finished painting, over this way? Yeah, and the welding will happen in the middle. Or do we go across here, this way, which will bring the 2 things closer together? I think that's silly, actually. No, I think the first option's better, because we can use... We're above the business here, aren't we? Yeah, we can get this across to here without any clashes. So let's just do... Let's keep it simple. Let's... I'm worried about clashing with this. I think we'll move it along this way a little bit, then flip it around and head it over this way. Okay, and then we want conveyor belts along here, and then we need to mirror what we did here again. Okay, so we are missing... What went wrong there? It kept it in the air, didn't it? What did I do wrong there? Oh, am I too close? This thing is too close. So this needs to be back. We need to have a space of... We need to be on the... 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think it was working. I think we're missing a small conveyor, which occurs there. Right. Okay. Then we need to mirror the same thing again, which is okay. I know I do it one step at a time, but I just find that on the more complex models, I just can't do it any other way. I have to do it like that. Oh, hold on a second. I don't think that's correct, though. I think it has to be the other one. Or would we end up in the wrong position over there? No, that's not right. No, it is the other one. What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong here, or something needs to be different about the organisation to make it work. I mean, that is the correct side, but can we not do it so that it ends up perfectly lined up there? Hold on, let's just take this away. So as it drops to there, no, I can't flip it. I can't flip it clockwise because it will clash with the pole. Why is this different from the other routes we've taken? What is different? Is it because on the first one I accidentally painted part of this side, didn't I? We then painted over it with red afterwards. Okay, so right, so I get to there, and then as soon as I've got to move it a little bit, I'll move it one square this way and then push it inwards, and that should be okay. I'm getting off of this conveyor belt here is what I'm trying to do. Okay, we're back in position to start doing the old up and down dance again. Good. But it'll be okay. I'm not sure. Got a feeling I've another problem coming here. Deliberately taking this far too high and up out of the way because I think it might clash, and we'll tidy it up later. Functionality over everything else right now, yeah? Oh, well there you go, we've really got a problem. Uh-oh. Did I not do the double rotation? Crap. I thought it spun twice. Did it not spin twice? No, it's not spinning. Oh, I see. This is causing a problem. Oh my god, okay. Okay, this was the problem, was moving it in here, but we've solved that. And then it falls down. And then we carry it over to here. Right. So we are... we are very close now. But we need to do... this part. Okay. So when's a good time? Probably about now to weld the two things together, isn't it really? So if we come straight across here, Yeah, we can keep it one higher than this because we're a bit lower than the currently this level is a bit lower than the output height. So we could do two things. We could either just push it on top as it went past, which would work, I think. Yeah, this doesn't get in the way. Unless it'll get in the. I just want to watch something else, by the way. No. So having something on top of here will not get in the way of any of the other operations. Fine. So now we want to look at how do we load these up to here and get the timing right? Because we could use a second push, the second object push, to make it work. Because the first one stacks up here. Yeah. Don't think the timing's going to work. Or we can use a block or something to shift it along. Yeah. We can do that in various ways. Okay, so for example, I could do sensor, which extends a little upside down conveyor that pushes it onto here. Yes, we could do that as well. Let's look at this again. But we've got to be careful about a sensor. So probably a sensor on this side, I'd imagine, to trigger it. And then we'd weld. We'd have a pair of welders from here to put the two things together. Right? And that'd be running all the time. Okay, let's imagine welders here, so we put in a couple of these welders like that, right? Oh, a dog has entered the room. Hello, sweetie. Usually he sleeps upstairs, but today, what's the matter? No, come here. Come here. You're not going outside. Come here. You going to your bed? What are you going to do? My eldest is not here today. He usually sleeps upstairs with him at this time of night. But he's sleepy. You going to stay here with me? It'd be lovely if you did, because my son's not here. No? Okay, you do what you want to then. He's got a bed here. He can sleep in the office if he wants to. It's nice and warm in here. Right, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. We could have a piston like that, and that would attach to a sensor. So let's have a little look. There's nothing wrong with this lot here. Okay. But we need to get the timing right, because these have a reaction time. So probably we put the sensor about here, I'd imagine. No, here. Okay, we'll hang it from above probably so that it's not clashing. We don't want a wire touching there either. Yeah, these goddamn wires that some idiot has installed over here, that's in the way. Get rid of these like that. This is where I break something unintentionally. No, up. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Watch the early stages of work because I've broken something by my fiddling around over there. Or I've made some other error here. Okay, you ready? It was too high. Sensor's too high. Fair enough. Oh, did you see that? Something else happened over here with this. This pumped twice or something. Something happened with this. And it went wrong. Why are you... You are further over than normal. What has happened there? You see what I mean? It's not... Okay. Something has gone awry here. And I don't know what it is. But for some reason... Something probably to do with rotation, I'd imagine. So this is rotating once. Yes. And it should rotate perfectly here. It's not rotating, so the sensor is actually in the way. Okay, that explains that. So we're going to have to go for a sensor from above. So if we put one like maybe here. Yeah, it was preventing the rotation from happening. Let's see if this works. It works like a sensor like this, see? Why did you not work? Is it because you're joined? Oh, you might be joined to each other. Okay, I think that's what happened there. I think it was welded to the wire and therefore couldn't move. So we need to do the old trick of floating object, which then drops into place. Yeah, like that. You are connected to the wire, aren't you? Maybe you might... Oh! This is also... Oh, that was connected from there, wasn't it? Of course. There we go. Things depend on each other. Now, of course... You changed how you were going to do it. If you were watching that and waiting for me to screw it up, then well done. That was really stupid of me. What are you looking going, that's not going to work. Okay, we can change this. We can put it over here instead. And then we want to pull it towards us. No, not that one. We want to do that. He's an idiot. Really, sometimes. Some people. Okay, So it has worked up until here. I'm going to push it to here. And in fact, probably what will work better is if we do this. Probably come in from the side. This is also where you get to laugh if I've made some sort of fundamental error about how these things line up. Okay, we got one, but the question now is... Yeah, okay, it's not a... what's the word I used to use all the time? I used to talk about the fact that is the sequence reliable? Does it degrade over time? But it doesn't appear to. It looks like... Yeah, we can complete it. Okay, so we know we can complete it now. So the next thing I do, if I've got a solution, and quite frankly, I'm surprised the solution does work. If we can do a solution, I'm probably going to read... Actually, yeah, let's do this first while we're waiting.
Dave has been trying to get me to eat what he calls fish cake. I asked him what was in it, but he didn't really know. I told him that me and my sort don't consume animal protein. He called me a vegan and then walked away laughing.
What a weirdo.
Is that an insult?
No.
It sounds like an insult.
Only to idiots. Right, okay. Is there anything else around? I remember searching around it. We used to search for things in these, didn't we? We used to search around for things. I remember that. There doesn't seem to be anything special around here, does there? No, not really. There's no hidden things. Is there? No. Can we go through that door? Can we go through this door over here? Access hallway? No. Anything down here? No. There is not. Okay. There's nothing secret to find as far as I can see around here. So the thing we need to do now is we need to tidy this crap up. This is where I look for various efficiencies. So can I, for example, when we're running this, can we do the grinding at the same time? I guess if we... So the object here is usually to reduce the number of cycles it takes to do something, how many blocks you've used, not these, not the support blocks, but the actual blocks like this, and things like, is it how fast it goes? I can't remember. There's a couple of metrics about how well you've succeeded in making a solution. I'm just happy to get to a solution, quite frankly, most of the time. I was feeling quite low at the start. I couldn't seem to work it out at all. But for neatness sake, I've reduced these basic grey blocks as much as possible as well. Is there anything else we can do, like where you can... Any redundancies you can put in place? Not redundancies. Anything you can do to reduce the complexity of it. You know, take bits away. So I have to do that very carefully and slowly, because every time you do something like, I'm going to change all these wires, that's when you can like break something. But I'll probably start with simple things like this. So, you know, could I, for example, use just 2 of these in a rotator? So with someone, no, I don't think I'll be able to. But you know, it's questions like that I'm going to try to answer where I can. So a nice simple solution could be, I'm going to do this, which doesn't actually do anything to make it any more efficient, but it makes me feel better. So that's why I do things like that. Okay. Also, where we're moving this massive block here, we don't need as many conveyors. Yeah, we only need enough to move a big block like this. So in fact, I can take these 2 away, because it will, by the time it gets ready to fall off this one, it will be on this one. Yeah. See, so that will still work like that. Anyway, I'll get on with that. Right, it's probably all the efficiencies I can do, I'd imagine. Unless there's something with here that I could maybe... And this is holding everything else up. This is kind of the support point for all these pieces up here. No, but by cutting across to there is not going to save any any blocks. So I think we're about done here. I'm sure there's an amazing solution to this. There usually is, that all like 100 times better than what I've done here. But that is fine. We'll get the stats in a minute for how well I've done. Usually I always come out on the same point in the graph, which is very much average. Very, very mid. Yeah, pretty much always there. Pretty much always there is what I would say. Typically for like cycles, and then I guess any slight improvement you can do on that. Footprint is like how much area I've took up, and then block score is bad, as it usually is. So there you go. Yeah, I mean that fits with me really. I'm a pretty mid person, so that fits in quite well with everything else in my life. But there we go. Cathedral Barracks. That was pretty good anyway. How many more have we actually got in here? I mean, I guess we've got one more here. What test zone X is? Let's have a quick look at this one, and then we'll bugger off again. Yeah. What's this going to be? Okay, shuttles. I mean, there's no painting involved. It's a matter of marrying together. It's quite tight with the localization, isn't it, though? I mean, you've got some... I presume we're just getting... What are we getting out of here? Oh! 2 blocks at the same time. Not sure how I feel about that. Okay. Well, that's for next time. Anyway. There you go. That was a surprise... oh, my God. So there you go, that was a surprise Infinifactory. I didn't just forget the name of the game. Definitely not. That is not the sort of thing that my old brain does. Definitely not. I think we're probably getting close to it. There might be something else at the end, but I'm not sure. I guess we've probably got this and then one more pass through there. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again next time.